Good afternoon, or evening, I should say. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Thank you, as always, so much for being here. Today, we're going to listen to Spandau Ballet. And I hope I'm pronouncing that right, because I looked it up how to pronounce it, and that's what I found. So I'm going with that. But I may be wrong. I could always be wrong. I've never heard of Spandau Ballet, but we're going to take this track, True, which is off of their album True, released in 1983, and give it a listen, give it a whirl. I heard a lot of talk about the band. There's always bands that I remember seeing the names of the bands that you guys have recommended, or that the names just popped up in some relation to maybe one of the songs that we're listening to. So for example, I remember listening to Japan, David Sylvian, and I kept on seeing this band pop up in the comments. So I said, okay, let's put that in the burner, come back to it at some point, and today is that some point. So we're just going to take this first track here, True. Because as I was looking it up here on the comments to see who's recommended the band, who's recommended this song, I see a lot of people talking about the band, and there are some recommendations for the song as well. I see AW recommended this, Joseph Thomas. There wasn't like an overwhelming amount of people recommending this song, but there were a lot of people talking about the band, you know? So I didn't have a ton of suggestions from them. This one came up a few times, so I just said, let's go with this one. And it's also the most streamed song on Spotify, so I just figured let me just choose this one, you know. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and listen to Spandau Ballet. Really? Oh, I didn't know this was okay. I was joking.
So true, funny how it seems, always in time, but never in line for dreams. Head over heels, went toe to toe. This is the sound of my soul. This is the sound. I want a ticket to the world, but now I've come back again. Why do I find it hard to write the next line? Oh, I want the truth to be said. man. Why do I find it hard to write the next line? Oh, I want the truth to be said.
Real nice.
I know this much
That's catchy.
is true. I know this much is true. 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 Much is This much is true. This much is true. I know this much is true. 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 I know this much is true. This much is true. This much is true.
Okay, although I was although I was humming those opening notes, I have not heard this song before, so this is a first listen. However, if you already know, then you already know. I'm pretty familiar with that sound though. PM Dawn, Set Adrift on Memory Bliss. That's a classic 90s track. Are you kidding me? So that's why when those first notes began to see, this is how you know I'm a millennial. This is how you know I grew up with 90s and 2000s music. Like, when I heard those opening notes, as soon as it began, let me back it up. To you guys, you heard Spandau Ballet. True, right? As soon as I heard that, I said, this band is using the exact same notes that PM Dawn used. Set a trick on Memory Bliss. I'm like, why would they do that? I'm not putting timelines together and such. That is really cool though. So obviously PM Dawn sampled and used this track as their foundation for Set Adrift on Memory Bliss, which if you haven't heard, it's quite the 90s classic, and I'm sure you've probably heard it at some point. So to be honest, it's kind of hard for me to separate that track that I am familiar with from this one, which I'm not, because they both kind of, I mean, obviously they sound very similar because one is totally sampled throughout most of the song. And this one is, I mean, like they're very similar. It's just, you know, one's more hip hop leaning. This one, of course, the original, more new romantic, I guess you could say. I do see the comparison where people were talking about this track and this band when it comes to Japan, David Sylvian, some other bands that I can't remember off the top of my head. I guess within this new wave, not new wave, romantic, whatever, new romantic, you know, genre tags. Anyways, but no matter what, if I'm putting my mind back to the original, of course, which we just heard, those harmonies, those sweet, blissful chords, da 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 da. I mean, that is such a groove. And listen, you could look at this track and say it goes on for a long time and it doesn't say much. You know, it's 6 minutes and 30 seconds, and there's not a lot of variety, you could argue, in the sound. But when you hear these sweet chords, that wow, that keyboard in the back, that guitar, wah, wah, and then da 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 da. You want to be in that. You want to stay right there for 6 minutes. Right? Like, I don't want to leave that. So, no, that doesn't bother me at all. I like his singing in the verse as well. Not like the most unique singing I've heard, but it's very par for the course, and I enjoy it. You know? Like, it doesn't blow me away. Nothing in this song necessarily blows me away. Of course, that's also going to be attributed because I've heard the song sampled heavily in another song, but it is a really, really nice place to be in. It's a nice scenery audibly to be in. This is something my mom would listen to. This is something I could hear myself. I always say it, right? Backseat of my mom's car. She'd have the radio on. This track would go on. Knob goes up. JP, I'm listening. I'm watching the raindrops hitting the windows. I'm watching the raindrops as they hit the windows. Like one raindrop starts going down and it eats another raindrop. Like, I'm sure we all played those games, right? When we were kids. This is that type of track to me. I like the saxophone that comes in, little extra keys as well. That's a soul-searching kind of song. Can I tell you, I was not paying attention to the lyrics, so let's dig into that to find out what we're even talking about. So true, funny how it seems always in time, but never in line for dreams. Heads over heels, went toe to toe. This is the sound of my soul. Now, actually, before I go further into the lyrics, are the rest of the music from Ballet like this? Like in this kind of smooth, really nicely atmospherically. I love it. But like, is it all like this, or is there something a little bit more, I don't want to say rockier, but more up-tempo, a little more energetic? You know what I mean? You know what I mean. I bought a ticket to the world, but now I've come back again. Why do I find it hard to write the next line? Oh, I want the truth to be said. So whatever the truth is, even if it may hurt, he wants to know what that is. With a thrill in my head and a pill in my tongue, dissolve the nerves that have just begun. Listening to Marvin all night long. Marvin Gaye. This is the sound of my soul. This is the sound always slipping from my hand. Sands a time of its own. Take your seaside arms and write the next line. I want the truth to be known. I think that's what the song boils down to, is he's looking and searching for truth. And even if the truth hurts him, he's willing to at least go on the search and, discover the truth, whether it's a good or a bad kind of interest. I don't know. This is a really nice song. This is a great song. Like I said, it's really hard for me to disconnect this from PM Dawn. I mean, have you not heard PM Dawn? Hold on. It's their most popular song. Hold on. Let me pull it up here real quick. Sudden Drift from Memory Bliss. What is this? Re-recording? What is that? That's not what I want. Let me go back here.
But will I ever stop thinking about it? I don't know. I doubt it. Subterranean by design. I wonder what I would find.
Oh, that's such a classic. Hold on. Anyways, let me know what you guys thought of the track. You can let me know in the comments down below. You can follow me on Twitter. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.